Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character exterior by me, so let's get into it. Giyuu Tomioka. Giyuu would be freaking out. No, not just simply freaking out, he'd be going insane. Where were you? Did a demon do this? Who would do this to you? Why was this happening? He was going crazy, overthinking and panicking, and it took all he had just to get control of his emotions and look for you properly. Eventually, it turned out to be some stupid ransom thing. He didn't pay, of course. Not because he didn't have the money, but he was too enraged to even just try and pay the person. He wanted to get rid of them, and get rid of them now. For what they did to you. And once he's done that, he takes you home, holding you close to him and refusing to get away from you. Looking you over and asking if you're okay, apologizing to you over and over. And even though nothing happened to you, Giyu's still scared about this encounter, and he barely even sleeps the next few weeks, being too careful and looking after you for as long as you could, telling you to stay home when you could, and trying to be with you more. You could see that it really scared him, and the two of you will have to work a lot to undo the damage that this had done. Rengoku would absolutely lose his shit, and I mean it. But that was all internally. On the outside, he would do his very best to be collected, and he would do everything in his power to find you as soon as possible. And I mean it. He won't sleep, he won't eat. His whole mission becomes finding you before anything happens to you. He doesn't know if you're with a demon, but if you are, he's not got much time, and he needs to act as fast as possible to get you back, hopefully alive and well. And once he finds you and gets you back home, he absolutely spoils the hell out of you. And I mean, like, he just cooks for you, takes care of you, and stays by your side. He even takes a whole week off from work, just wanting to stay with you and make sure you're alright. And he does up the security for the house you're in, wanting to protect you from further things like that, because there shouldn't be this anymore. Obanai. Obanai actually worries about you a lot, and he starts freaking out initially. But he does something pretty mature that you wouldn't usually do. He asks for assistance because he's scared that he might not be able to find you soon enough. And once he gets under Hashiras to help him, they do find you pretty quickly. And soon, you're back in his arms, safe and sound. You are barely injured, but he still took you to a doctor, wanting to make sure you're alright and you to be okay. And soon enough, when you were discharged and back home, he stayed with you, refusing to leave your side. He got you some food and some stuff you like, and decided to read you books, stories, and stay with you, holding your hand and cuddling with you whenever you wanted, watching over you, and appreciating every single second spent with you. Because Obanai knows that whatever happened now, he just doesn't know what he would do if it happened again. Because if he lost you, he knows he would go insane. And he can't afford to do that. He can't afford to lose you at all. Sanemi. Sanemi would be quiet. Very eerie and scary in the way he's just so quiet and focused. Though he was always challenging those around him or yelling or being just a mess. He's not that when something happens to you. He's focused on the one task that matters to him. And the task was being just to get you to safety and away from all harm. And soon enough, he accomplished that. He carries you bridal style all the way home, not letting you down even though you told him that you're fine. And whoever kidnapped you was dealt with. Thankfully not by Sanemi, because otherwise he probably would have died. It was just some dumb person who wanted more money and thought they could get it by kidnapping you. And they were extremely unlucky in picking you while people around. Meanwhile, Sanemi vowed to punch them once he was done taking care of you. But of course, all of that was forgotten because he spent a lot of time with you, refusing to leave your side because he was too scared of what could happen to you. But eventually, he just reaches a compromise, having you stay with one of his friends while he lets all the rage out, which is good for him, to be honest. Tengen. Tengen actually has been in that situation one too many times. First, all of his sisters are kidnapped, and now you. He's been through it, and he knows how it feels, but that doesn't mean it's any better. He's worried, scared even, and he wants to find you as soon as possible. But he acts with tact and carefulness, not wanting to risk hurting you by being too reckless. And eventually, once he finds you, he puts you first above any battle or fight. He has to get you to safety, and that is why he evacuates the area with you in his arms, leaving whatever fight to come, because whoever enemy he had to deal with could be dealt with later. But right now, he needed to make sure that you're safe. Muichiro, though he was usually very quiet and not very expressive, this was shocked him. He was scared and worried, and even though, unlike, most of the Hashiras, it's actually easy to see on his face just what he's gone through. And he does everything to make sure you're home as soon as possible. And whoever it was that was kidnapping you, they were not going to get mercy. No, because as soon as he sees them, he's getting his revenge. And he's not pausing it for anything unless you were really hurt and you to go to the infirmary as fast as possible. Otherwise, he was going to take his revenge right there and then, because nothing was stopping him, and that undeserving, unworthy idiot would learn just what happens when you do that to what's his. No one will ever touch you again, and no one will ever hurt you. He will end it right here, right now. It was kind of badass though, and they weren't hurt, so it went well. And he took care of you after. And once he decided that you were well and everything was okay, he took you out on a date.